All right, everybody. So let's just quickly review, what worked, what didn't work, and all of that. All right. So we'll first start off with the NQ, and then we'll go over other markets and see where the demand and supply signals are, and what worked, what didn't work. So this, when was this? This was around 10:30, a little after 10, right? So this is an example of strength, but it doesn't look like strength. It just, because what they sell, get it oversold, and make it look like an ABC, but it's really strength. You wouldn't know unless it's at a particular level, and if you can really examine it. So for me, I can see that this is the biggest volume in 41 waves, so there's actually strength in it, but I want a little bit more proof. So I just go here, and there it is. See that right there? That right there is this wave. So that's what I'm saying about this type of chart. It provides a certain level of clarity that other charts do not provide. Why? Because it just goes up and down. It just goes up and down, and it takes out the element of time. And as it goes up and down, you can see volume at each box, or in the column. So that is really important. So I can tell immediately that this is demand. It's the biggest breakout in 84 up bars, 84 volumes. So you can't see the amount of confidence you'll have after this is much more than the amount of confidence you have just looking at this wave. Why? Because in the wave, it shows a very strong selling wave in the back. So you'll be more bearish than bullish. But if it's at a level and buyers are coming in, you may not know. But if you see this chart, it'll give it away. Okay? Now there's another really important thing I'm going to explain. So most of y'all are taught about, this type of diagram, where it does this, and then something like this, and then dip, right? And you taught about the climax and the automatic rally and the secondary test, and then they tell you that this is accumulation, right? Now, if you're able to, first of all, you won't know if it's accumulation just by taking a look at price action or even the wave. Sometimes you will, but the amount of certainty will increase when you understand that accumulation phases, very important. Accumulation prints. All right, now this you're not going to find online, but the idea is that when price goes to a level, when price goes to an area of interest and there's accumulation going on, what happens is they buy, let's say, on the way up, let's say they buy, to make it easy, 1,000. And when they pull back, they sell 500. Then in all of this, the outcome is up 1,000, and then drop 500 again. The net position is 1,000. So in this heavy buying activity, what happens is you have accumulation prints and accumulation phases, and what happens is near these lows, you have heavy volume activity. Heavy volume activity here at these lows. All right, there's going to be heavy volume activity here at these lows, meaning it'll have print a print that's very high in this area. All right. So now you understand accumulation phases have accumulation prints. This is same on higher time frame and lower time frame. That's what happens. So one of the things to look for is accumulation prints. So where is the accumulation print in this base, this thing right here? That accumulation print is right there. That's an accumulation print. How do I know? That print is the biggest print. And it's not my imagination, or I'm not nitpicking. This is what the indicator says. That print is the biggest print in 50 columns, meaning in 50 bars. That print is the biggest print. Okay. Obviously, the volume is very high as well. It's a lot of volume, which that's what happens in accumulation. But the actual print, where they're buying at that level or that zone, is very high. It's biggest, in 50. So all of these high volume prints, that's the biggest in 50. So or more. I capped it at 50, but it's 50 or more. I don't want to see too crazy numbers. So I cap it at 50. So this is the biggest in at least 50. And then, so I know that they're accumulating. Now I want to see markup, and that's the demand markup right here, and it has that big green indicator, which tells me that it's heavy demand. So now it's going to pull back and test, tap where to the high volume right here, and then it flies. Right? So this is actually minor. This is accumulation right here. You see, this is intraday accumulation right here. What's the proof? What's the evidence? First, usually it goes to some level. This is how the market does its thing. All right, and then traders get interested, and then they buy, and this is their buying print. And then it stops going down, and then it breaks to the upside because of the heavy buying. That's your buying activity. All right. So that's the accumulation that happened here. And probably, if you just look at the wave or just look at the candles, for sure you're going to be in a frame of mind where you want to short because of this big down red wave. But that is the wrong thing to do. You see, that is the wrong thing to do. You need to consider that this is in, I don't know where was it, right here. This was springing this low, meaning the stops were run right under 25,846. So it was in a spring position. When it dipped under 25,846, you see that? 25,846 dipped, hit the stops. Someone bought, accumulated the stops right here under 25,846, accumulated it. You can see the buying activity, and then breaks, then tests, and then gives you one nice move. All right. What's going on? Okay, I guess they're doing it again. So yeah, it's again in spring position. It dipped again to 25 something 03. I don't know what this is. 25,803, right? 25,803. It sprung that prior low by going to 25,803, right? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the print, the high volume print. Now there's something here, but it's not meeting my threshold, so I can't really tell. And it's the time is later in the day. I don't know. I can't tell with this. All right, but this I can tell. This is demand. Big green. Big green, very clear, biggest volume, 31 bars. So yes, sometimes you can see the accumulation print, sometimes you can't. I prefer, seeing it. Sometimes you can see, sometimes you can't. And this demand is referring to this rally right there, which has the biggest volume in 48 waves. So it's probably end of day covering on a spring. All right, let's move on to see if there were any other examples today. I think that's enough. All right, so you get the idea. All right, take care. Bye.